Does it bother you at all when you see like right now this is very recent into the Colby Covington Jorge Masvidal fight just happened, and then Jorge Masvidal just sucker punched Colby at a restaurant somewhere.
Yeah, the sucker punching I'm not down for that at all. Even if there is some sort of an issue that Masvidal has about, say, like, don't talk, you talked about my kids, that was like the one thing or whatever. I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that. Like, to me, that's honor culture things. Like, you should understand that there should be a line that you shouldn't cross in terms of aspects of civility. Otherwise, expect nothing but hostility. And that is a choice. That's why we had all of these concepts of manners and courtesies, was because violence is at the bottom of every word you speak. Violence is at the bottom of every exchange. Literally, politics is war by other means. And with that, it's like, if someone says, don't talk about my fucking kids and my family, and you cross that line, okay, if he does nothing about it, well, if he just goes and whinges on Twitter about it, what does that mean? That means nothing. If he goes and like calls the cops, well, he talked about and the cops just go like, well, that's within his legal rights. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. Sorry. Then how do you get him to stop doing it?
But do you think that what
sucker punching him wasn't
did?
good?
No.
He should have been like, I told you it's on. If I see you,
I don't think
like, come with me and come outside.
With that is, like, if he does that, Colby's going to take him down. And that's what happened in the
deal
fight.
With it.
Yeah, but it's like, if you want to fight someone and you fight someone and you lose, I feel like at a certain point in time you got to accept what happened.
I think there's a way of creating, through these conflicts, some aspect of mutual understanding and respect, in fact, and that.
Okay, so what does that look like, though, between those two guys?
I mean,
it doesn't look like
I don't know them personally. No, that ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna do it. That, because again, you hit him when he wasn't looking.
Right.
It's like, well, okay, how am I supposed? Essentially, what you're asking for is for me to give you a certain modicum of respect, and to not pass certain lines in terms of courtesies, because this is unacceptable. How are you going to get them to do that when you cheap shot them?
Right. I think that Colby is doing a brilliant job of playing a bad guy, like pro wrestling style. And I think he didn't used to do that early in his career. He was a hard-working guy who just went out there and fought his ass off, but people didn't give a shit. And they weren't giving him the credit that he deserves. And so he turned heel. That's what I think. And I think that character is super successful at fucking with people. You know, I mean, and he can fucking fight, man.
Yeah, he can.
You can't underestimate that kind of cardio. That kind of cardio is crazy. To be able to do that for 5 rounds, that's bananas. That pace is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone has a wrestling advantage, it goes back to this one more time. When someone has a wrestling advantage, that is a big deal when you start getting tired and this guy has better technique than you and he's not as tired as you are because he's fighting more efficiently, and then he gets a hold of you and they're like, fuck, I'm on my back. And then you're like, God damn it. And then you try to get back up, but you can't. And the bell's over and you get back up and you go, all right, got to keep this guy from taking me down. Then boom, he takes you down again. Again, he keeps punching you on the feet. He keeps hitting you and making you move backwards. And you're just looking to land this big bomb, but there's never an opening for it. And you think he's going to slow down, but he never does. I mean, who the fuck causes more drama than Colby?
I know, yeah.
Still,
good
though,
stuff.
That's how he's so popular. It's both things, right?
Yeah.
Which is rare. Like, he has incredible skill level. He's as tough as they come. And he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
And most people don't know that he got forced into talking shit. Like, the UFC was about to cut him. They didn't like his style. They told him.
Yeah.
And so then he fought Damian Maia in Brazil and then called him a bunch of filthy animals and, you know, and said a bunch of crazy shit.
Places a dump.
Yeah. They went crazy.
They took exception to that.
He went pro wrestling heel.
Yeah.
And it changed
It worked.
It changed the trajectory of his career. What people don't know about Colby, what you know about Colby, is when you're with him in person, super nice guy.
Oh, he's actually soft-spoken.
He's a great guy.
No, but he's had dinner at the house. We had elk and just polite, soft-spoken.
Yeah.
My wife and daughter, everybody's there, just being as nice as can be.
He's a gentleman.
That's who he is.
That's the real guy.
Yeah, for sure.
This other thing is like a character that he does, which is so fascinating.